they're not on camera. But yeah. You're on mute, Bez.
Okay, it could be I was trying to join before and I hit it twice. Why don't you just kick him out?
Yeah, we can do that. All right, cool. Well, it's time. We have a few attendees sitting. Let's get started. Cool. So while Bez comes back, I'm going to share my screen. Let me just go back here. Cool. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, cool. Well, we're getting started. Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on the topic, What Top Talent Really Wants, Attracting and Retaining A Players with Bez Rengifo. I'm Shavi, Content Manager at Recruit CRM, and I will be your moderator and host for today. We've got an exciting session planned for you all today, and I can see that attendees are still joining in. So whoever has already joined, feel free to drop in a quick hello in the chat and let us know where you're joining in from. We would love to see how far we're reaching today. And before we dive in, can everybody who's already joined hear me and Bez all right? Like hear and see me all right? A quick thumbs up in the chat might be very helpful, just so we know that, everybody can hear us. Cool. All right, let's get started. Cool. All right. I'd like to let everyone know that towards the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A round during which we'll take questions from the audience. So feel free to drop in your questions using the Q&A options on your screen at any point during the webinar. If you're joining in on LinkedIn or YouTube, where we're also streaming this event live, you can drop in your questions in the chat. Also, we have some exciting giveaways planned for a few lucky winners. So stick till the very end of the webinar to find out what they are and also a chance to win. Cool. Let's get started. All right, quick introduction about us. Recruit CRM is a next generation ATS plus CRM software serving over 1,500 customers in 100 plus countries with a global team of 200 plus experts. Our software speeds up business development, simplifies recruitment processes with smart workflow automation, and boosts your daily productivity. Now let's meet our speaker for the day. Bez Rengifo brings more than 2 decades of talent acquisition leadership to our discussion today. He's made headlines for completing one of the largest civilian recruitment efforts on record, bringing 45,000 professionals on board in under 8 months. Bez has served as a strategic advisor to C-suite executives spanning healthcare, technology, AI, and government organizations. From emerging startups to Fortune 500 enterprises, he's built his reputation on developing innovative recruitment strategies and building talent pipelines that scale globally. So if you're trying to learn how to impress candidates, you're in the right place. Here's what's on the agenda for the day. So first, we have reasons to focus on candidate experience, what top talent really wants, 4 strategies to focus on, some common mistakes recruiters should be avoiding, how to use recruitment technology to your advantage. And we also have a fun myth-busting session planned for the end. So if we have time, we'll do that as well. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, some exclusive giveaways. So yeah, with that, we're going to start with the first poll for the day. Let's kick things off with this. So for the folks watching on Zoom, you will be able to see the options on your screen at any moment now. And for the viewers on LinkedIn and YouTube, we're dropping the poll and the options in the chat. You can just choose one and copy paste it and send in the chat itself. So we'll just, hold here for a minute. So what's your biggest challenge in attracting top talent? Is it finding candidates with the right skills, standing out in a competitive talent market, engaging passive candidates effectively, or speeding up hiring without compromising quality? Or is it multiple of these options? So while we leave the poll open for a little while, well, no matter what challenge you choose, this session will help you tackle it. So while the responses keep coming in, let's get started with the session. So I'll stop sharing my screen, and now Bez will share the screen from his end. You're on mute, Bez. Yeah, just letting you know. You can.
Well, it would be great if I unmuted. And thank you, Chavi, for helping out. Should I go ahead and go to the next screen?
Yes, let's get started. People will keep, responding to the poll, and we'll collect all the responses and show later on.
Hey, let me make
looks like we have the responses. Yeah. So most people say that, yeah, finding the candidates with the right skills is probably one of the biggest challenges in attracting talent.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, let's get started.
Okay. So, welcome to today's session. So we're reasons to focus on, honing a positive candidate experience really spans a few areas. So we're going to share some statistics here. 76% because we're talking about the candidate experience, would reject an offer after a bad interview, regardless of salary. And LinkedIn provided that data here in 2025. Extremely relevant. 69% say they share interview experience on social media. If you've seen it on TikTok, oh my goodness, people share. And Glassdoor does agree on their 2025 study. 70% improvement in quality of hiring from when you invest in the candidate experience. And Talent Board also did a recent study of that here in 2025. So having a positive candidate experience is important. So the landscape is changing. Before, we were the employees were prioritizing on job security and conventional career paths. But there is nothing conventional about today's career paths. And in today, career decisions are based on psychological needs, values, and life integration. It's no longer about work-life balance. It's how is life going to integrate with my work and vice versa. There's some psychological drivers behind top talent decisions. And here's a few of them. Autonomy, it's a key psychological driver for modern A players, highlighting the need for self-direction in their roles. Now, that takes some development as well. Top talent seeks control over how, when, and where they work, not just what they accomplish. These are exactly what A players are asking for. 78% of high performers are willing to leave companies with rigid policies, showing the importance of flexibility and continuous learning. And there's a desire for project ownership, and minimal micromanagement is essential for retaining top performers. And there's a difference between micromanagement and undermanagement. So leaders beware. All right. In summary, A players prioritize freedom, flexibility, and personal control over their traditional work structures. So, what's shaping the candidate expectations in 2025? So here's some Hiring Lab puts out this message. Says in 2024 and 2025, the job market has stabilized into a lukewarm middle state, characterized by strategic hiring that rather than pandemic era desperation. So think about where we're at today, the lukewarm middle state. All right. So what's going on? All right. So there's skill. Here's what we're going to talk about in regards to skill-based hiring. 81% of employers now prioritize skills over degrees. So skills, you attain those through work experience. So that is reigning supreme. 81% of U.S. employers. Remote work preferences. 95% of workers expect some form of remote arrangement. And back in the day, they called it telework. So that has been going on for quite a bit. Generational shifts. Gen Z values flexibility and purpose over salary. These is what the source Expand Opportunities has reported. All right, now on to what we've, what you've been looking forward to the most is how to speak the candidate's language. We have to learn that, right, in order to be successful as people attracting talent. All right. So 4 things we got to focus on is proactive relationship building. And this isn't about what you need today. It's also about what you need in the future, right? Value first communication. It's got to be valuable, right? It has to be value driven. Personal branding, you've got to focus on. And you have to become the go-to expert. You've got to be that thought leader in your zone of genius. These are things that you have to focus on as recruiters. Shifts from reactive to proactive relationship building. How does this look like? Maintain ongoing connections with 70% of high quality candidates who are passive, right? So you got to maintain those connections. Build talent pipeline months or years before opportunities arise, providing value through market intelligence, career guidance, and industry connections rather than just job placement. So it's got to be strategic. You got to look into the future. This proactive approach ensures that you have a steady flow of top candidates when opportunities do become available. So you have to be forward thinking. Personal branding, it becomes your competitive weapon. You've got to position yourself as a recruiter, as a thought leader by consistently creating content, sharing industry expertise, and networking strategically. These are must do things in order to position yourself. And this is part of your personal brand. Your professional reputation directly impacts your ability to attract top talent. Remember, you're building your personal brand, whether you think so or not. How do people talk about you when you're not in the room? Hey, every breath you take, how do you show up? That's important. You are developing your brand. A players prefer working with recruiters who show deep market knowledge and strong relationship building skills. Ask yourself if you have those skills or if this is what you do on a normal basis. Okay, master the art of value first communication. Lead with candidate interest rather than your placement needs. And that is very important. Think about them first because that relationship is beyond today. It can go 10, 20, 30 years in the future. The most effective outreach follows a specific formula. You personalize your research. You're no longer making cold calls. You're calling people that you need to call and that need to hear from you. You have a specific achievement recognition, market intelligence sharing, and a clear value proposition. Got to have your value proposition clearly communicated. Value first communication is crucial for recruits to build trust, engage top talent, and establish long-term meaningful relationships. So as we differentiate through service excellence and specialization, what are we talking about? You develop expertise in specific industries or roles, becoming the go-to expert for those markets. As a recruiter, if you want to stand out above the rest, develop a niche, okay? Provide comprehensive candidate preparation, faster turnaround times, post-placement support, and exclusive access to high-profile opportunities that candidates cannot find elsewhere. Remember, you are providing the access to that hidden job market. You are important, but you have to, have that post-placement support, that white glove treatment right afterwards, not just, hey, you place them and you're off. Keep that relationship going. Specialization and service excellence help agencies become trusted experts, offering unique value and attracting top talent. If you're a recruiter or you're owner of a recruiting company, think about these things. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't. All right. All right. Now, onto a strategy that's going to completely transform your approach. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? All right. So here's what you should be doing. Encourage your clients to gather insights directly from their employees to build an employee value proposition. We call that the EVP. And that reflects the company culture, growth opportunities, and value. So EVP in its essence is, what do you as a company provide in exchange for dollars or time that you're paying the candidates? Why should they come to work there, right? And why is it important? 71% of job seekers say company's reputation significantly influences their decision making. And this is actually from the company called Gallup. They do a lot of research. And we're actually going to go into some of their research. This is important, people. Your reputation precedes yourself. Okay, let me make sure I didn't hit that twice. All right, let's look into the must-ask questions your clients should be asking their employees. Okay, so let's dive in. All right, so let me get my move some stuff around here. Give me a second. So as we dive into this thing. I want you as recruiters to look at this from reverse engineering standpoint. We're going to go through 12 questions and we're going to dive into what do those questions mean and how can you craft a place that people want to go to work or the recruitment you're doing for your company. So answer these questions, okay? I know what is expected of me at work. So are you recruiting for things that you can articulate to the candidate? Expectations. So why does this question matter? Then this is Gallup did a study and they'll say, hey, it reduces anxiety, workplace stress, higher productivity and focus on priorities, fewer misunderstandings and conflicts, increased confidence in daily decision making, better alignment with organizational goal. It's a reality check. And despite its importance, this expectation gap is real. According to Gallup research, only about 50% of employees strongly agree that they know what's expected of them at work. And that creates a massive opportunities for leaders who address this fundamental need. So you as a recruiter need to figure out what that gap is. Practical implementations, create clear documented role descriptions that go beyond basic tasks. You want to know that your leaders are scheduling regular one-on-one conversations, focus on expectations, priorities, that they're providing specific examples of what good looks like in concrete terms. You as a recruiter need to be able to articulate that, right? Establish measurable success metrics for each team member and revisit expectations during time of change or transition. You as the recruiter need to be able to articulate that. So this is important. Bottom line, when you know what's expected of you at work, the talent can channel their energy towards meaningful work that rather than just guessing at what's expected at them. And this creates that foundation for trust, accountability, and exceptional performance. We're going to go to the next question. Okay, here we go. I have the materials and equipment I need to do my work. So are you able to articulate that as a recruiter for when professionals don't have what they need to excel, frustration replaces motivation. And this critical engagement question addresses the fundamental resources needed to succeed. Why this matters? Because having the right tools just isn't convenient. It's essential for excellence. So it removes unnecessary friction from daily workflows, demonstrates organizational commitment to employee success, prevents productivity bottlenecks and delays, reduces workarounds, allows professionals to focus on high-value activities. The list goes on. And when you're recruiting, you need to be able to answer these questions so the candidates are excited about your opportunity. Resource reality gap. Even well-resourced organization, this question often reveals surprising gaps. According to Gallup, only 30% of employees strongly agree that they have everything they need to perform their work effectively. So this is very important. Technology platforms, some of the things, it's just beyond physical tools, but technology platforms, software access, information and data required for decision making, the list goes on. So I definitely want you as a recruiting organization or talent professional, your strategic advantage is being able to help those candidates navigate their career journey. Organizations that prioritize proper resourcing, they get the best out of their people's time and talents. So yes. All right, we're going to go on to Q number 3. At work, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day. Can you articulate that? This question strikes at the heart of career fulfillment, and that's what people want. We didn't talk about money that was important. We talked about when we can leverage our natural talents and strengths daily, the work transforms from obligation to opportunity. The Strength Revolution organizations with a strength-focused approach see, 38% higher productivity among teams, higher customer satisfaction scores, 50% lower turnover rates, 22% higher profitability than their competitors. Yet surprisingly, 34% of professionals strongly agree that they only use their strengths daily. This creates a massive opportunity when you're trying to align or find this candidate, the type of work or job that is going to align with their strength. All right. So beyond job descriptions, the questions invites us to look deeper into roles. Are your unique abilities recognized and deployed? Do projects align with natural talents? Can you customize aspects of your work to leverage strengths? Does your manager understand what you do best? Are team assignment based on strengths rather than availability? So we could go on to this, but the research is strong in this area. We need to have roles that are around people's strengths, and our managers basically become our strengths coaches, right? And they align talent to the assignments. All right. So this is a great topic we could go in, but I'm going to go into question number 4, and I want to go into these quickly. So this seems like a funny question, but it says, in the last 7 days, have I received recognition or praise for doing good work? Recognition, they ask this in a certain way because if you can't remember the last 7 days, then you probably haven't. Recognition is important. Do your hiring managers recognize their employees? Can you confidently talk to the candidates and articulate that you are a destination of choice to go work at, right? So this is important. So recognition, teams with robust recognition cultures see 31% lower voluntary turnover. Recognized employees show 56% higher productivity metrics. I could list off a lot of statistics, but yet shockingly, only 1 in 3 workers strongly agree they receive recognition in the past 7 days. For professionals targeting their dream employer, this creates a critical evaluation point. Okay. Do leaders understand the power of personalized recognition? Is appreciation woven into daily operations or just saved for the annual reviews? A lot of questions are being asked in this one, and I'm not going to go through each one. But during interviews with hiring managers, ask about recognition practices. Explore how functional leaders celebrate team contributions. Look, the candidates are doing research on this. Can you answer these questions? All right. So we're going to talk next about Q5. Okay. And here's one. It's called My Supervisor or Someone at Work Seems to Care About Me as a Person. Now, this question cuts straight to the heart of workplace relationships. We had talked about how relationships, trust and relationships are important. So here, if you want to get to the core of trust, here we go, right? Relationships. When professionals feel genuine values as humans, it's not just about productivity units. Everything changes, right? The human connection factor. The data tells a compelling story. Teams with caring managers experience 66% higher engagement. Professionals who feel cared about are 3 times more likely to stay long term. Organizations with strong caring cultures see 41% lower absenteeism. Psychological safety increases 58% when leaders demonstrate genuine care. This is what your candidate is looking for. Are you an employer of choice? Answer these questions. Put yourself in these positions. Astonishing, interestingly enough, only 40% of employees strongly feel someone at work cares about them as a person. Or, this we can do better. We can do better. Beyond professional courtesy, true workplace looks like this. Leaders who remember your personal priorities and circumstances. How about they know your name, right? They can remember your name. How about that they celebrate personal milestones, your birthday? How about not just professional wins? How do they demonstrate flexibility during life transitions? Hey, life, it can weave different paths for us. So this is a strategic research intelligence for domain experts. They're looking for things like this. So we as talent acquisition professionals, internal or external, we need to be able to articulate, are we supporting the whole person, not just the employee? Are our managers receiving emotional intelligence training? Do we customize experiences based on individual needs? And here's something you can ask during the interviews. When a candidate is engaging a hiring manager or functional leaders, they're going to ask, how do you support team members during challenging personal situation? What does work-life integration look like in your organization? How do you get to know your team members as individuals? Because, hey, if we're working remote, how do we get to know our teammates? So this is some things we need to ask ourselves as we go to question 6. Q6 says, there is someone at work who encourages my development. You know, if candidates aren't looking for salary as the number one thing we have learned from this new generation is that they're looking for their own development in their skills and in their profession, right? A development advantage organization with strong development culture sees 34% higher retention of top talent, 29% greater profitability compared to competitors, 37% higher productivity from engaged professionals, and 78% stronger innovation metrics across teams. Yet remarkably, fewer than 4 in 10 professionals strongly agree that they have someone encouraging their development. This is an opportunity that we need to identify and be able to articulate to the candidates, hey, we are focused on your development. So beyond basic training programs, true development encouragement manifests itself as leaders who spot potential when you haven't yet recognized. They advocate and connect you with stretch opportunities. They are mentors who provide honest, growth-oriented feedback. They sponsor and promote your capabilities to other decision makers, right? And colleagues who share learning opportunities align with your goals. So this is, extremely important as you look, are we a development organization? All right. So I am going to go to Q8 right now. So we're moving at a pretty good clip. Would you say that, Shabby? Are we on target?
Yeah, we are.
We are? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm checking in with you. All right.
Yeah.
No, number 7. Let me see. Number 7, and I'm going to go with this one pretty quick. My opinion at work, my opinions seem to count. There's been a lot of research in this area. I will tell you that people want to be heard, right? And so if you're not giving people an avenue to be heard, then they're not going to feel that their opinions matter. So as you find out from your hiring leaders, your organizations, do people's opinions matter? And this sort of manifests itself where, they're in a team environment and they provide an opinion. And instead of dismissing them, they ask more questions about their opinions and to see how that might fit into the work at hand. Or are they dismissing it and not even trying to engage in conversations? So I want you to think about that as you decide, hey, do my opinions matter? Okay. Now, here's another one. Q8, the mission or purpose of my company makes me feel my job is important. Now, in the earlier slides, it showed that the new generation is looking for purpose, right? They want meaningful work. So this question is important. The mission or purpose of my company makes me feel like my job is important. Purpose isn't just a corporate buzzword. It's the invisible fuel that powers exceptional performance. When professionals connect their daily work to meaningful impact, everything changes, right? A purpose premium organization. What does that look like? An organization that has strong mission alignment experience, 42% higher retention during market volatility. There's a lot of volatility in some segments of the market. Wouldn't you want to have 42% higher retention rate? Absolutely. Talent professionals know what it costs when you lose someone. 33% higher productivity from purpose-driven professionals, 47% stronger innovation metrics across teams, 27% higher customer satisfaction rules. Yet surprisingly, only 4 in 10 professionals strongly connect their work to a meaningful purpose. This definitely is a critical thing, an evaluation of your company. Is the purpose and the job aligned? Beyond mission statements, true purpose alignment happens when you can clearly articulate how your specific role advances the mission. Leadership regularly connects daily activities to a broader impact. Success metrics include purpose-driven outcomes, not just financial results. Your expertise directly contributes to organizational meaning. Company decisions consistently reflect the stated purpose priorities. So as I just said all those things, ask yourself, is there a through line in everything? People are smart. People you hire, they're looking for that through line, right? Is the mission and the job, is there a through line? Does it make sense why I'm here? So just wanted to talk about that. Sometimes we look at many different factors here, but every role connects directly to a greater purpose. Our leaders regularly communicate about mission impact. We make decisions based on purpose alignment, not just profitability. And that compared to other indicators that, where it's not so good. And you may hear things like our primary purpose, shareholder value. Mission statements are on the website, not daily operations. We're focused extensively on quarterly metrics. Those are not things candidates want to hear. No. All right. Opportunities where your contribution matters and what people are looking for is extremely important. So we're going to go to question number 9. And my associates or fellow employees are committed to doing quality work. So the caliber of your colleagues profoundly shapes your professional experience. When surrounded by excellent driven peers, your own work reaches new heights. So when we're talking about A players want to be around other quality individuals. Now, not everybody may have a full team of A players, but you're going to have strong performers and they're going to be around other strong performers. Okay. The quality commitment advantage organization has a strong quality culture experience. So here's what that looks like. 41% higher customer retention rates, 37% fewer costly errors and rework cycles, 29% greater innovation metrics across the departments, and 40% higher team satisfaction and engagement. What does that mean? Hey, unfortunately, only 35% of professionals strongly agree that their colleagues are committed to quality. Beyond basic competence, true quality commitment looks like this. Colleagues consistently exceed minimum expectations. Teams voluntarily review and refine their deliverables. Professionals proactively identify improvement opportunities. Peers hold each other accountable for excellence. The organization celebrates and rewards quality initiatives. So what it doesn't sound like is when they say we focus on speed over perfection. What it does sound like is excellence is non-negotiable in our culture. And there's a list of many of these, okay? So strategic conversation starters, when engaging hiring managers and functional leaders, questions will be asked like, how do teams maintain quality standards during high pressure periods? These are some great questions. So let's, excellent mindset is going to be matched equally with committed colleagues. All right. So this is my favorite one. I have a best friend at work. Let that sink in. Do you have a best friend at work? I mean, I've done 6 enterprise employee engagement surveys at large enterprises, and I don't know a leader who challenged me and said, "Why does this question matter? What is this question doing on this survey?" And they laugh at it and they go, "Oh, you want to know? Well, it has everything to do with it." Okay, it this question might seem surprisingly personal, but it reveals something powerful about organizational culture. Meaningful workplace connections create the foundation for exceptional performance and satisfaction. So if you have a friend, the friendship advantage, if you're friends at work, how does that look like? 36% fewer safety incident among teams, 7 times higher engagement scores from connected professionals, 12% higher profitability compared to low connected environments, and 35% lower turnover during challenging periods. Yet only 30% of professionals strongly agree they have a best friend at work. This is a dimension we need to explore. Beyond casual, collegial, true workplace friendship, how does this look like if it's beyond the normal? You have colleagues who genuinely understand your strengths and challenges. Professional relationships extend beyond transactional interactions. Someone at work serves as your authentic sounding board. You can go to them. You can vent with them. You have peers who will celebrate your wins and support during setbacks. Teams foster psychological safety through genuine connection. I have done deep research on this question. Google has a study out there that's very fascinating too. It doesn't ask the same question, but it actually is around this subject right here. You're going to notice that when someone is presented even an offer that is more money and they feel they have a friend at work, you know what? Many times they pass on that higher monetary gain to stay with people they feel comfortable and safe with. It is, think about your experience. Have you let an opportunity go because you just felt safe and you felt like you had friends at work? Hey, when you go to work and you're going to work with a smile because you're going to work with your friends, yet you're doing excellent work, this matters. And a lot of times we dismiss this one because we're trying to separate work from personal. And I understand that there's those boundaries. But if you spend most of your day at work, then why not have a workplace where you feel safe, where you can vent, and you can do your best work, right? So having a best friend at work, ask yourself that question as a recruiter. Does my manager, my hiring leader set that culture? Okay. It's extremely important. There is research upon research on this subject. I have gone with deep conversations with other people for hours on end. So I'm not going to do that here. We're coming with 2 more questions here. But Chavi, before I do that, how are we doing on time? Are we still good on time?
Yeah. If we can wrap up these questions in let's say 5-7 minutes, I think we should be good. Yeah, we have time.
Okay, good. That should be no problem. I'm targeting 2 minutes each. All right. So number 11 is, in the last 6 months, someone at work has talked about my progress. All right, folks. Progress conversations aren't just administrative checkboxes, okay? They're vital growth accelerators. When professionals receive meaningful feedback about their journey, engagement, and their performance soars. Progress dialogue, advantage organization with robust progress conversation experience. This is how it looks like, right? 43% higher productivity from teams with regular feedback. 30% stronger innovation when development is actively discussed. 39% higher retention of top performers with growth dialogue, 27% greater adaptability during organizational changes. Now, yet surprise, only about 30% of professionals agree that, they have a meaningful progress conversations in the past 6 months. A lot of times people save that for the yearly employee annual review, but that's not what people employ top talent wants. They want constant feedback. You're talking about their progress, what's going on. You need to have a culture that sets that up, and the hiring managers are the direct hiring supervisors, the one that has the biggest impact. So beyond annual reviews, true progress dialogue happens when leaders provide specific, actionable insights with your contributions. Conversations focus on future growth, not just past performance. Progress discussions happen regularly, not just during formal reviews. Feedback incorporates your unique expertise and potential. Development pathways acknowledge your specialized knowledge. Okay. So a progress culture is extremely important. What I want to say is that, you know, ask your leaders, how do they approach progress conversations with their A players, right? What is that feedback loop? How are they having and how often they're having those conversations? I'm looking at a book on my bookshelf that was written in 2010, and it says abolishing the performance appraisal, and it has an X on performance appraisal. That movement, folks, has been going on since 2010, if not sooner, right? They're writing a book in 2010 about it, right? So this feedback loop, you'll notice some corporations have done away with the performance evaluation because it's annual and it's not working. All right. Every organization is a little bit different. So here we're going to the last one. And this last year, I've had opportunities at work to learn and grow. All right. So growth isn't just for early career professionals. It's the oxygen that keeps that expertise fresh and relevant, right? When a seasoned domain expert continues expanding their capabilities, both they and their organization will thrive. Remember, you're trying to recruit A players, right? You need to have these, have them learning and growing. A continuous growth advantage organization, they prioritize ongoing development for experienced professionals, and they look like this: 47% higher innovation from teams, 34% greater adaptability during industry disruptions, 29% stronger leadership pipeline development, 41% higher retention specialized domain experts. That leadership pipeline development, that higher retention of these specialized domain experts is important, extremely important. And now, yet remarkably, only 40% of professionals strongly agree they have a meaningful growth opportunity. They've had meaningful growth opportunity this past year. So this is definitely an opportunity for you as a recruiter to help solidify with your hiring manager or your talent acquisition department. Work with them in HR on how this can get improved. So beyond the basic business, true growth opportunities, what you'll see is cross-functional project leveraging your domain expertise in new contexts, strategic leaders roles that expand your organizational influence, mentoring relationships where knowledge flows in both directions, cutting-edge and innovative initiatives that stretch established capabilities, on and on and on. What it doesn't look like is, you'll see some red flags when they say senior roles are expected to bring finished expertise. No, that's not what you should be saying. You should be saying, we believe expertise requires continuous renewal. So another thing that you don't want to hear is, we hire experienced people precisely because they don't need training. No, that's not what you should be saying. You should be saying, we create specialized growth pathways for domain experts. So as we come to the end of this conversation, ask yourself, what are you doing to attract and retain A players. Take what I've shared today with you on the 12 questions Gallup has asked to doing employee engagement and reverse engineer for yourself as the talent organization, department, or professional. How are you going to reverse engineer that so that you're on the front foot? You're an employer of a choice. The employer value proposition is strong because even what you do has impact on the overall organization. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And I see that this slide here says common mistakes that sabotage A player attraction. Don't do this. And so here's some things you shouldn't do. Avoid generic outreach and mass communications that treats high performers like commodity candidates. Don't do that, folks. Don't do that. Generic LinkedIn messages, blast emails, or templated responses immediately signal low quality service to top talent who expect personalized attention. Don't compete solely on price or disappear after the placement. Do not do that because that means you're transactional. Many agencies lose competitive advantage by racing to the bottom of fees rather than demonstrating superior value through service quality, market expertise, and relationship depth. And I'll challenge people on that. Take what you would have, take a full fee and your assignment, break it down of how much time you spend on that search, and figure out what your hourly rate is, even on a full fee. And you're going to see how many days did it take you to fill. Put that calculation. You're going to find out, hey, I better be charging full fee, not discounting, because then you start to realize I'm not making that much if I'm discounting. You need to provide higher quality. All right. Resist short-term thinking and transactional approaches. The most successful agency recruiters, they invest in relationship building over quick wins. Understanding that today's passive candidate becomes tomorrow's executive placement or referral source. Think about this. It starts at when you're coming out of university or whatever, college or training. You keep in touch with people. Over the years, they ascend into higher level positions. You treat them well. They push and pull each other, and you are there within their journey, right? Who they are today, tomorrow they're going to be an executive. Life is short, so invest in the relationship over time. Don't worry about today. Tomorrow's going to come. Oops, let me go. Okay. Start doing this immediately if you haven't already. Send automated feedback surveys via Google Forms or Typeform to improve your process. Create a candidate portal to track application statuses, interview, and the required documents. Add careers page chat box to answer questions about application roles and benefits. Use Calendly or Doodle for candidate self-scheduling to reduce email back and forth. Set up automated reminders and re-engagement emails for inactive candidates using Zapier. Use some of these tools. They're going to help you. Let me make, oops. All right. Alongside this technology is significantly influencing recruitment. And if you don't know, you should know. Technology is changing the game. 67% of talent professionals are seeing AI play a major role in 2025, with AI selected candidates staying longer and performing better than human-only selections. I have my opinions on that, but AI can gather a lot more data than you can and can make some predictions that we may feel our gut is better suited for. But that's for another discussion. Oh my goodness, I want to go fight on that one. All right. Anyways, how about using some rec tech to accomplish your goals? So I believe I am going to get my friend Ang Schumann to talk about that. So take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Bez, for such an insightful webinar that you have shared with us today, right? Now,
Yeah, Bez,
Uh,
I think you might want to stop sharing your screen. So yeah, you can just, cool. All right, there you go.
Perfect. Thanks,
Cool.
Chavi. Hello, nice to meet everyone. My name's Anshuman, and I'm part of the business development team here at Recruit CRM. And since we're already a bit low on time, I'll just take a couple of minutes to give you a small walkthrough of the platform,
Yeah.
walk you through some of our newest features and how they can basically help you with your recruitment process, right? And of course, aligning with whatever Bez has already shared today, right? So let me start off with automations and how that can help you with your recruitment, right? So I hope everyone can see my screen now.
Yeah, yeah, we can see it again.
Perfect. So within Recruit CRM, we have what we call workflow automations and integrations, right? So this can basically help you treat Recruit CRM as your automations hub. So not only can you create internal automations within Recruit CRM to take some load off from your admin work, save a lot of time, right? You can also create automations and integrate Recruit CRM with other apps, right? So as Bez just shared an example, right? Using Calendly or other tools like that to automate some of your processes in your recruitment workflow, we can absolutely help you do that, right? So in terms of our library, we have a massive pre-built connection already, right? Of more than 1,000 apps out there that we already integrate with. But we can also integrate with any app out there that has an open API, right? And help you create your automations and streamline your processes a bit more, right? Now, apart from automation, one really key thing is, of course, communication as well, right? Apart from calling and emails, one really important aspect on communications is using LinkedIn, right? So we at Recruit CRM, we have also brought in LinkedIn messaging right within Recruit CRM itself, right? So not only can you send in-mails to your candidates or clients right from within Recruit CRM, you can also track what messages other team members are sharing with someone. So this is what I shared with Chavi today itself, right? So I can, of course, take a look at that, send new messages right from here, set up message templates if I want to, right? But again, you do have the option to make it as personalized as possible, right? And of course, I can also track to get more context on what conversations my team members are having with a candidate or a client, right? So you can also track that within Recruit CRM. Right? Now, finally, really quickly touching up on a few AI features, because again, it's really important, especially in this day and age. We have a lot of AI capabilities to help you with saving time. Whenever you set up your notes, you can ask AI to help you summarize them, extract key points, improve it if you want, right? So all of that's available. Apart from that, whenever you send out one-off emails, you can just ask AI to help you write one, right? Much like using ChatGPT, for example, you can just give it a prompt, it can write emails for you, right? So that's, of course, there as well. Apart from that, we also have what we call a candidate summary within Recruit CRM. So you can basically create an entire one-pager, right, that you can share with your clients really quickly. So you can not only set up templates for this, on top of it, you can just ask AI to help you with a small write-up on that candidate, right? So you can take that, combine it with the template, and you have a brand new document that you can share with your clients really quickly, right? So that's where we at Recruit CRM come in to help you save time and make your processes much more streamlined, right? But yeah, that was pretty much it from some of our features. Over to you, Chavi.
Yes. So yeah, that was it regarding some of the features and how you can also use technology to help you with all of this, help you attract better talent, source better candidates, and just speed up some of the most admin work that usually you handle day to day. So yeah, we're dropping some links in the chat in case you want to explore the product on your own time, and you can sign up for a no commitment free trial, or you can also book a demo, and we can give you like a more detailed walkthrough later on as well. So now I'm going to quickly share my screen, and since we're low on time, like it's okay if we go like a couple of minutes overboard. Yeah, we're gonna start our Q&A round. So now is the time. If anybody has any questions, they can drop in these questions using the Q&A option on their screen, or the chat on LinkedIn or YouTube, and we'll pick up as many questions as we can. So yeah, we'll wait for a couple of seconds to see if anybody has any questions. Yeah, I think we received a question earlier, Bez. I'm just going to throw this question your way. So yeah, the question that we got some time back was, how do you uncover what truly motivates a candidate during the interview process, particularly?
I love this question. You ask them. One of the things, this is how you do it. You don't assume. What you want to do is ask them, what are you looking for? What's important to you? And keep digging. Sometimes they're very hesitant to come forward, but keep digging. Ask the question, then ask another question behind that question to dig deeper. Let the conversation and the question and answers lead you to the next question. You don't even have to script it out. You'll see something you can actually go deeper on, right? Get beyond the initial question and just keep asking questions like literally like you're a 5-year-old. How come? Why? What's important? Ask these questions and they will tell you. They will tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have another question from an anonymous attendee. They're asking, are there specific red flags to watch for that signal a top performer might be might about to leave?
Say that one more time. Are there signals that?
Are there specific red flags to watch out for that signal that a top performer is like about to leave, or like you might know this? Yeah.
There is actually HRIS and talent systems that actually track this. They come up with their own algorithms of who's a flight risk. And so there's reports that are shared with leadership, executive leaders, but everybody has a different take on this. But I will tell you this, there's something called when we talk about employee engagement is actively engaged, right? And then there's those that are disengaged, and then those that are actively disengaged. And a lot of people think, well, we've lost the actively disengaged. We're not even going to focus on them. But actually, they're worth your effort, because if you can get them to be actively engaged, they bring a lot of influence and effort. I will say to the question, you'll see that maybe they miss work. They go out on leave. They even how they show up to work is not the same. You'll notice something else is going on, but sometimes that's even something that is not related to you, but you may have to ask them if they're willing to sharing it. And but there'll be some of the red flags definitely is they are those exact same things. They start missing work. They something called shrinkage. All of a sudden, office supplies starts to disappear. And then all the other, when we went through the Q12, if you take one of those, every Q12 questions, there's red flags for each one that give you insights. So take your pick. There's a lot of red flags you can actually, not engaging with them on performance or feedback loops. Top performers need that. They demand that. And if you're not providing that feedback loop, they're going to get frustrated quick, and they're going to be on their way out. Yeah.
But another interesting question that we've heard people ask before, like when we were like pushing out some promotions for the webinar as well, is like, you've hired more than 45,000 people for like a single project that we mentioned earlier when we were introducing you. So how do you maintain quality at that scale?
Well, you have to build out the factory, right? And you have to have processes that honor the quality you're trying to bring. And so, look, when that project first started, they had hired 150 of us nationwide. Now, I put together a proposal. I authored a proposal that I gave to the prime contractor. They ran it up the poll. I was asking for 150 people just on a outreach team. I'm like, we can't do this with 150 people nationwide. So they agreed on it, and we ended up building the factory. You know, you got to have, in order to hire 45,000 people in 7 months, we actually had to hire 2,000 people to hire the 45,000 people. So you had to build a team. You had to scale because you actually, there's quality parts of that. You had to put those processes in place and people behind those processes to ensure quality. Did we hit it 100%? Absolutely not. Did we learn from our mistakes? Absolutely. But when you're doing it in 7 months, you're moving so fast. You know, you are going to have some things that do break. But that's
Yeah.
just sort of an understanding everybody has. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Thank you so much, Bess. So I think those are all the questions that we can take today. It's time to end the session, but in case we miss any questions anywhere, we'll make sure that we get back to you over email with the answers. So yeah. Now moving on to what everybody's been waiting for, the giveaways. So thank you so much for staying with us till the very end. So first, Bez is offering a 360-degree recruitment process audit for free. That's a 90-minute deep dive with actionable recommendations originally valued at 10,000 US dollars. Second, he's offering a personalized LinkedIn optimization session, whether it's for your company page or your personal profile, worth $500. And he's offering this for free to boost your professional presence. And finally, exclusive access to the Leveraged Career Collective's group coaching membership at a reduced price of $37 a month for 6 months, covering essential career development pillars. That's less than half the regular rate of $97 per month. So each of these prizes will go to a separate lucky winner, and the winners will be announced on our LinkedIn company page on 30th of June, next Monday, 10 a.m. PST, and we'll also drop you an email as well to the winners. So we'll do a raffle draw to decide who wins these giveaways. So keep an eye out on our LinkedIn company page and your inboxes to see if you're the lucky winner. All right, we've made it to the end. Bess, do you have any final closing remarks for our audience before we wrap up?
I guess what I'll say is that, you know, when you recruit some of the best people in the world, it is a tough battle. Think of the long game. Think about what you're trying to, as an organization, what is your employer value proposition, and is it truly valuable, right? Look at your competitors. Look at what, you know, how does it line up to your strategic plan, and then go out there and communicate, and you're gonna find your tribe of people, right? They say your vibe attracts your tribe. It's okay to not attract people that don't align with your culture. There's that, you know, you don't have to please everybody as an organization. Attract the right people that make sense. So go out there, do good, be good, and do your best.
Yeah, those are some fine closing remarks, Bez. All right, well, that concludes our session for the day. Thank you all for joining and participating. To learn more about Recruit CRM and our features, head over to recruitcrm.io. We're also excited to continue these conversations and more on our social media channels. So follow us for the latest updates and information on the upcoming webinars. For weekly discussions on all things recruitment and technology, check out Recruit CRM exclusives and our blog, and you can also subscribe to our email newsletter. If you enjoyed today's session, be sure to follow Bez on LinkedIn for more valuable content. He's the best in business. All of these links are in the chat right now, and we look forward to connecting with all of you again at our next webinar very soon. So have a fantastic day. Thank you, everyone. Let me just get go. There you go. Thank you, Bez. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.